an insecure woman finds her life changing when she starts taking advice from a sultry actress. Maddalena feels insecure about her body and blames it for keeping her stuck with her roommate Stefano, who uses her curling iron to melt butter. In revenge, she sprays hair products on his grilled cheese. In comparison, her mother, Grazia, is treated like the parish queen in their community, while her sister, Maria, is beautiful, married, and has a second kid on the way. On top of this, she works at a publishing house where she is overworked, doesn't earn much, and feels underappreciated. Her one silver lining is Donato, whom she has a crush on. Still, she's frustrated that she works as a ghostwriter for so-called authors who don't even read the works they take credit for. During a book signing event, things change for her when Donato abruptly invites her to sleep with him. While she prepares for this date the next day, Stefano catches her wearing plastic covers on her legs. She defends that it's to reduce fat, but her roommate thinks she'll just get hurt by her dubious workmate. She reasons that Donato and his wife are separating, so this is the only time he's been able to ask her out. That day, Maddalena feels like on cloud 9 on her date with Donato. However, when they're about to share a bed, she gets nervous and dances for him awkwardly. The man tries to take the initiative, but Maddalena keeps hiding her body, so he gives up and goes to sleep instead. The next morning, she arrives home and rants to Stefano about her failed attempt to seduce Donato. She spitefully eats a pinch of the cake her roommate made, then decides to take it to her room, dismissing Stefano's warning that it's his space cake. She snacks on the cake while trying to research the art of seduction. Maddalena initially feels uncomfortable with what she finds until she encounters the works of a sultry actress named Valentina. Stefano's special cake ingredient soon starts making Maddalena hallucinate and see Valentina talking to her directly. Stunned, Maddalena faints. The next morning, the woman approaches her boss, Erica, about writing her own book. However, the woman dismisses her. Later, Maddalena attends a meeting with a social media influencer, Lara, who's hiring their company to write her biography. She wants the book to be about her hardships, though the struggles she mentions are mundane things like split ends and brittle fingernails. Still, Donato and Erica proclaim that they'll assign her their best ghostwriter, Maddalena, who will be shadowing her to learn more about her. Lara refuses since people like fake things since they're beautiful, but Donato assures her that Maddalena is their best. This makes Maddalena smile. Because of this, she calls Stefano later while at the storeroom and declares that she wants to give Donato another chance, believing that he still likes her. They discuss ways on how she could seduce him, and the two decide on giving Donato a photocopy of her upper assets. Maddalena proceeds to make the copy, only for her co-worker Tommaso to catch her in the awkward position. The woman proceeds to give the copy to Donato in his office, and the man seems to like it. She even playfully crawls under his desk for some action, but she suddenly hallucinates Valentina, who comments that she is doing things poorly. Confused, the nervous woman mutters excuses and rushes to the bathroom to escape. She washes her face and recoils when she sees the actress again. Maddalena is convinced that she's gone crazy, so Valentina leads her to one of the cubicles. There, the actress reveals a secret door that leads to an empty white room that represents her self-esteem. This confuses Maddalena since she expected to see her mother comparing her to her sister. With that in mind, she realizes that her sister's gender reveal party is today, so she snaps out of her trance. At the party, Maria and the guests sing while Maddalena sits alone. Grazia joins her and gushes over Maria's singing prowess. She then points at Maria's brother-in-law, Marcello, and insists Maddalena should lose weight to get back together with him. However, Maddalena reminds her mother that Marcello broke up with her on Christmas Eve after taking her present for him, so she refuses to date him again. Ignoring this, Grazia leaves to speak to Father Massimo, so Maddalena hallucinates Valentina again, who comments that her mother likes the vicar. The woman dismisses this and goes to the other guests. Maria holds a toast with her husband Giuseppe and announces that Marcello is engaged. Thinking that Maddalena is hurt by this, Grazia then urges Maria to offer a toast to her sister too, so she wishes her sister luck in finding a man like her husband. This just embarrasses Maddalena further, so she leaves just as her sister cuts the cake and announces that she's having a boy. After the toast, Giuseppe's friend Leonardo invites the lonely Maddalena outside. There, the woman comments how she's the black sheep of the family. The man also feels this way since his father compares him to Giuseppe. Maddalena then rants that she's glad that her sister's having a boy, otherwise her mother would fully dictate the child's life. Finding her rants funny, Leonardo invites her to a comedy club tomorrow night. On her way home later, Maddalena passes by an advertisement with Lara as the model. She hallucinates Lara asking her what she wants, and the woman replies that she wants to be attractive. The apparition of Valentina tells her that she is already attractive. To prove this, she takes Maddalena into another white room filled with different kinds of women that men desire, including the mature, the edgy, the old, the petite, and finally the curvy. Valentina teaches her her that women who feel attractive naturally become attractive. With that, Maddalena gets an idea. The next day, Maddalena convinces Stefano to go shopping with her, and she takes him to an adult shop. There, she tries out a pink dress, which both her and Valentina agree she looks good in. With this, Valentina says her work is done, but the woman begs her to stay. The hallucination agrees to continue teaching her to be attractive, but only if Maddalena promises to learn to love herself. Maddalena agrees, then proceeds to show off her outfit to Stefano, though a few other patrons also stare at her. The man asks what the dress is for, and out of nervousness, she blurts that she wants to go with him and his friends. Her hallucination calls her a coward for not going to Leonardo's club instead. That night, Stefano introduces her to his gaming friends who think she looks great. This gives Maddalena a confidence boost, so she decides to go to Leonardo's club anyway. There, she watches as Leonardo takes the stage. The man begins his bit about gender reveal parties and uses her rant as material, which has the audience laughing. After the performance, Maddalena is approached by a man at the bar who's interested in her. Insecure, she dons her jacket just before Leonardo slinks in. He thanks her for the ideas and asks her to meet him outside so they can go on a walk. When she heads out, however, Maddalena overhears the guy from the bar wagering to his friends that he can bed a woman like her because of her low standards. Disgusted, she walks away, but one of the guy's friends notices her and tries to apologize until Leonardo takes the woman away. As they walk, the comedian suggests that she should be a writer since the material she gave him was great. She then reveals that she's a ghostwriter, so Leonardo wonders if she's done her own work. When the woman says she hasn't, he suggests she try stand-up instead, but Maddalena isn't confident enough for that. Changing topics, Leonardo asks her who her type is, so she mentions Father Pius. She reasons that he looks like a hipster with a beard, and Leonardo laughs at this, noting that this is good material on stage. He then reveals that he has an audition for a comedy TV show and wonders if his dad will take him seriously if he succeeds. The two continue bonding for the night, and when Maddalena leaves to go home, Leonardo even kisses her cheek. This makes Maddalena smile. The next morning in the office, Maddalena stands more confidently before Donato. The man scheduled a meeting for her and Lara and assures her that she can always try again if she fails to make a good impression. Her imaginary friend hints that he wants her to try again with him, which makes Maddalena nervous. That afternoon, she meets with Lara to interview her about her life. Lara admits she's scared of appearing foolish, but Maddalena assures her that it won't happen. To start, she asks about her family, and the influencer tells about her dysfunctional and shallow family. Later, she receives a message from Leonardo inviting her to more gender reveal parties to get ideas for his show. Instead, Maddalena hints that he can crash her sister's upcoming pilgrimage. Valentina appears and comments that Lara's life is a cage, but Maddalena argues she gets to be picked by men all the time. To prove her point, Valentina transports Maddalena into a white space filled with women inside toy boxes, saying that this place is where women get picked. Maddalena sees Marcello pick his fiancée, Giuseppe picks Maria, and even Father Massimo picks her mom. The woman then finds herself inside a box and Donato walks by, considers her but ultimately moves on. With this, Valentina advises the disappointed woman to pick instead of waiting to be picked. With that in mind, Maddalena starts choosing men through a dating app and goes out with them while Valentina watches. As her date continues, the once empty room of her self-confidence starts to grow grass. After a while, Maddalena tells Valentina that she feels more attractive than ever, so she is ready for Donato. However, this leaves Valentina frustrated. The next day, she attends a publishing fair but gets intimidated by all the well-dressed women. Shrugging this off, she approaches Erica and Tommaso, who notice Lara talking to another influencer, Mariano, who hands her his book. The other two come up with getting him to attend Lara's book launch, but orders Maddalena to do it. Because of this, Maddalena searches the hotel for Mariano later, but meets with Lara instead. The influencer asks what she should do with Mariano's book, so the writer advises her to read it so she can promote it. The woman insists she has no time for that, so she assigns Maddalena to summarize it for her instead. As she leaves, Maddalena mutters how Lara's dismissive outlook on books is why the world of publishing is ending. Malika overhears her and introduces herself as part of another publishing firm. She hands her a book to criticize, recognizing her as one of the best ghostwriters. Malika then advises her to write her own book, hinting that she might publish it. This gives her hope, but Maddalena refocuses on her task to search for Mariano. She finds the man wearing only a towel and unable to enter his room using the key card, so she helps him with it. Thankful, he asks what he can do for her in return, and with Valentina's encouragement, Maddalena asks for his towel. The man gives it to her, proving that confidence goes a long way. With that, Maddalena takes his towel and saunters off. The next day, she goes to Lara's book launch, but her name isn't on the list. She rants that she's not invited despite writing the book, but Donato arrives to vouch for her. Inside, the influencer invites Maddalena to join their photo op. but Tommaso stops her, saying they have to keep the writer's contributions quiet. Lara defends her, but Erica excuses that Maddalena wouldn't look good in the photos. The writer overhears this, and all the past insults and disappointments she experienced comes crashing in. She snaps at them, accusing her employer of thinking that her looks would ruin a book launch. She figures that this is why Erica rejects her chance of authoring her own book. Maddalena then rants to the audience about writing books for people who don't even read them and writing self-help books that only make readers feel bad about themselves. She insists that the world would be better if they just accept themselves. Because of this, Erica fires her, but Maddalena saunters off while Valentina and the audience applaud her exit. The next day, Maddalena boards the bus to the pilgrimage, but her mother confiscates her phone, thinking it's an addiction. During the walk, the writer gets tired and decides to take a break. However, Grazia scolds her for always taking breaks when she should learn to fight through pain. This angers Maddalena, so she accuses her mother of not teaching her how to persevere, and instead, she sabotages her confidence and always orders her around. Filled with spite, Maddalena marches to the top of the hill with Valentina where they find Leonardo. The man guides his friend to a statue on the hill, and she cheers when she sees that it's of her crush, Father Pius. The two then spend time watching sheep and relating to the black sheep separated from the herd. They enjoy each other's company, and Leonardo invites her to his TV audition for moral support. She assures him that she'll be there and that he'll do great. That evening, Maria returns Maddalena's phone. The woman turns it on and gets flooded with notifications. Videos of her rant during the launch have gone viral, and she even gets a text from Donato asking her to go to the office. The next day, Maddalena chances upon Lara in the office and apologizes for ruining her launch. However, the influencer feels happy for her instead and invites her to a private party. Lara even hugs her, proud that Maddalena has become an influencer by speaking the truth. Later, the writer attends a meeting with her superiors and Erica shows her gifts from brands that recognized her. Because of her popularity, she offers her job back so she can write her own book. Valentina rolls her eyes as she doesn't trust them, yet Maddalena considers it. Maddalena returns home in a celebratory mood but finds that Stefano's moving in with his boyfriend. She's surprised by this, but her former roommate notes that he and his boyfriend have been together for a long time and she just never asks about his life. This leaves her feeling guilty and alone. Sometime later, Leonardo sees an ad of Maddalena endorsing slimming tea, which disappoints him. As her fame rises, Mariano even flirts with Maddalena during Lara's party. However, Valentina knows she's just trying to make Donato jealous. Just then, Maddalena gets a text from Leonardo, reminding her that his audition is in an hour. However, when someone asks for a selfie with her, she gets distracted. Soon, Lara gathers the crowd and reveals her romantic love for her manager. Everyone applauds, though Maddalena is hurt that even Lara can find true love. After the announcement, Donato approaches Maddalena, but the woman plays coy and prompts him to chase her. Valentina reminds the woman that the man is still married, but Donato sweeps Maddalena off her feet and invites her to another night in his house, assuring her that his wife has left him. In Donato's place, Maddalena excitedly prepares for the evening, but Valentina orders her to go into her self-esteem garden. Valentina shows her a verdant garden, but it's also closed in a cage. This is because Maddalena has been fueling confidence through the opinion of others instead of herself. Defensively, the confident woman accuses Valentina of sabotage since the hallucination will disappear if she finds happiness. This offends her imaginary friend, so she scoffs and vanishes. After this, Maddalena and Donato finally make love, but only after this does the woman notice his wife's accessories on the bedside drawer. The man explains that his wife has left for the weekend, and Maddalena realizes that he's still living with his spouse. Betrayed, Maddalena decides to leave, asserting that she deserves better than settling on being number 2 for a man. She rushes to catch up to Leonardo's audition, but it's already over and it didn't go well. He shrugs it off and apologizes for texting her during the party, noting that he saw her post about it on social media. This makes Maddalena feel guilty, more so when he comments that he wished she'd been there for him since 2 black sheeps can still make a flock. However, to Leonardo, she's not a black sheep anymore, so he walks away. Hurt and disappointed in herself, Maddalena ends up eating space cake and checking the same website where she saw Valentina, hoping to summon her. However, her imaginary friend refuses as she cries in a corner, betrayed. Just then, Maddalena gets a text that Maria is in labor. The woman goes to the hospital where Grazia is also waiting for news. She uses the chance to apologize for acting like a horrible daughter, but her mother denies it. Grazia explains that it's horrible seeing her daughter unhappy and insecure, so she always gives advice. Maddalena argues that she can choose what kind of happiness she wants, and so Grazia defends that she only knew one way to be happy, and that's being a mother. She admits that she was afraid that the world was too cruel for her daughter, but now she's proud that Maddalena found confidence. After reconciling, the two share a sandwich, but Father Massimo arrives, so Grazia flutters wanders to his side. Maria then yells that she smells the sandwiches, so Maddalena checks on her sister. She asks if she'll give her second child a supermom treatment, but to her surprise, Maria is hesitant, saying that even Mother Mary only had one kid. As time passes, Maddalena begins writing her own book, and this helps her garden of confidence slowly lose its walls, allowing her to feel free. She also mends her relationship with her mother and her sister, while Donato resigns from the publishing house. Deciding where her work deserves to be, Maddalena also leaves Erica's publishing house and signs a contract with Malika instead. Soon, her garden of confidence becomes a verdant and expansive forest. One night, she watches Leonardo's stand-up routine online and gets a text from Mariano, but she rejects him. Eventually, Malika presents her the first copy of her book, and the now published writer hugs it proudly. She soon holds a book launch in the comedy club with all her loved ones, even Erica and Tommaso, attending. In her speech, she admits that a year ago, she didn't like herself, but things and people change. Maddalena shares that so many people helped her change her view of herself for the better, and among them was a black sheep. She details how this black sheep accepted her for who she was, so in front of her audience, she asks Leonardo for a second chance. Touched by this, the audience applauds the published writer. She then grabs Leonardo and wastes no time in doing what's long overdue. They continue their moment in her home, and to her surprise, Valentina returns. Proud of the woman she's become, Valentina gives Maddalena one final advice: to put the love in lovemaking. With this in mind, Maddalena turns to Leonardo for another round as she not only found love but also love for herself. However, when Maddalena eventually goes to the real Valentina's fan meet to thank her, she is regarded as a crazy fan and is sent away.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.